So guys, first of all, welcome to the session, and I'm thankful that you have joined this session, because in this session we are going to have lots of fun with watercolors. And if you have tried watercolors and have felt that it's a fairly difficult medium to handle, then this session is going to change all of that. But before I show you painting demonstrations and painting tutorials, I want you to understand what watercolors are. If you have watercolors with you, you might have something like this, watercolors in tube form, or you might have them in cake form. Mostly I guess you all must be having them in cake forms, because these are watercolor cakes which are for students. So we'll be using this one today. To activate watercolors, first you have to wet them. So we'll be just dropping in few drops of water to a few colors that we are going to use, and those will be greens and blues, yeah, and red and the basic colors. So just put some drops of water. Now why are we doing this? As you can see, these cakes are fairly dry. So to activate the watercolor, we need to put some water on them. You can also do this with a spray bottle if you have a spray bottle. I prefer doing it this way because it's a less messier way to do this. Okay, so I have put a few drops of water on almost all of them, including white. And we'll just keep it aside for some time, for a few minutes. Now I am going to start this session by introducing you guys to three basic watercolor techniques that we use to create different effects in watercolor paintings. These three, whatever you call it, these three basic techniques can create way beautiful effects, a lot of beautiful effects. So we'll just see them now. So I hope you all have a paper with you. I have a sketchbook. You can take a drawing paper that you have. So I'm going to now also have a bowl of water with you and a painting brush. So now I'm going to wet a section of this paper. I'm just applying plain water, guys. Okay, as you can see, I have just applied water and nothing else. Now see how much water I have applied. Now I'm going to add some color into this. I'll be adding blue color, and I'm adding a lot of water to this one as well. So in the area that we had dropped the water, just see how the color is spreading. Spreads so beautifully. And just drag your brush down. This is the best way to blend colors. And if you want to drop a few more drops of blue on the top, it will create a darker effect. But for this you need the paper and the brush both fairly wet. Only then you will be able to create this effect. See, at the bottom there is a very light shade of blue that is being created, and at the top I have the darkest of the blue. So this was the first technique of watercolor. This is called the wet on wet technique. Now I am going to show you the second technique. The second technique is wet on dry. What we do in wet on dry is we take a lot of color on the brush with a lot of water. So I'm dropping in more water, as you can see, and I'm going to take this, just drop it on the paper directly, and now I'm going to move this around. Now while doing this, I'll take more water on my brush and move it around. So this is wet on dry technique. As you can see, the transition is not this seamless. You can see a line here where the blue, dark blue ends and the light blue begins. You can solve this by adding a bit of blue here, just pulling it down. Okay. So this was wet on dry technique. Now the third technique that I'm going to show you, for that you will need to dry your brush on a tissue paper. Why am I doing this? This I am doing because I need a dry brush. Okay. And we'll just pick up color from this palette. We are not going to add water into this. We are just picking up dry color. So we'll slowly pick up the color. As you can see, there is very little amount of water into it. Now I will be creating effect with this brush, which is dry, on the dry paper. So it is dry on dry. See how the brush is not moving smoothly with the paper, but it is creating a texture. One more interesting effect that you can create with dry on dry technique is painting some grass. So what you do is you will just again wipe the brush dry. It has to be completely dry, guys. And we are going to take green this time. Okay. I have taken a bit of green. Now I'm just going to create some grass like texture. I'm going to take more paint. See, as you can see, when you do this on a landscape painting, this will create the effect of grass. Now I'm going to take darker green and go over this again with the same dry brush. Okay. So this is an abstract looking grass like structure that is very helpful in painting landscapes. Okay, so this was dry on dry technique. Of course, if you do this with a thinner brush, you will get better results. This I was just demonstrating to you guys how wet on all these techniques can be used, how all these techniques can be used in a better way. So we just saw the three techniques. Now we'll be creating watercolor paintings. So let's get started. So yeah, this page is. So now first we are going to make paint. First we are going to paint a slice of watermelon. Yeah, that is what we are going to paint, and I'll just show you how to do it. For the first part, you know that a watermelon has two colors, mainly the red portion and the green portion that is on the cover, that is on the cover of it, that is the dark green, and there is a very light green portion in between, whitish, almost white. Okay, so we'll start with doing a triangle. Like when you cut the watermelon and take out a piece, we are going to draw that piece, paint that piece, sorry. So we'll just, this we are going to do with the wet in wet technique, wet on wet technique. So I'm just drawing a triangle shape here as you can see, because of the light the water is being reflected. So I'm going to paint this in water, and the bottom section I'm going to paint a bit abstract. I'm not going to paint a circle because I want it to look very realistic and very pleasing to the eyes. So here I have painted a triangle in just nothing but water. So now that we have done this, the next step is the most important step. The next step is to add the red color. Now load the red color on your brush. I hope this is clear. Just a second. Load the red color, but add a lot of water to it. This is lot of water. Yeah. Now we'll just drop the paint here. See how it is spreading. So we are going to drop the paint only on the edges. Yeah. So this is the first layer, and you can see it's looking beautiful already because of the effect that the water is creating. Okay. Now before this dries, we have to add more paint. We want to add paint again. This time I have more paint on my brush. See? As you can see, I have kept the center a bit white. I have deliberately kept it white because that is how a watermelon is. And also guys, there is one more thing to remember, that watercolors, when they dry up, they become lighter in shade. So while painting with watercolors, always remember that they are going to dry a shade lighter. So you will have to color them accordingly. Okay. Hope I am clear with this. Has everyone done this step? Yeah. So now we are just going to wash our brush in water and then dry it off in the tissue paper. Now the next step. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to add the bottom section. Because I want this to dry, we'll add the other section later on. Okay. The bottom section is going to be a bit bigger than the top section. I'll explain to you later why. Just make it a bit bigger. So this is the bottom patch, and keep a bit of distance from this red because it is wet and it is going to spread easily. So always remember that. So I hope you can see the shape that I am painting. The shape is a curve. Like, take your brush like this and end it here. So this patch, I am just adding water. Now here it's going to be connected. What we'll do is, we'll take this green. This is a green between the light and the dark one, and we are going to add again lots of water here. And we are going to just outline this shape. See, again it creates a beautiful abstract effect here. Okay. See how the watermelon slice is taking shape now. Now here you can correct any mistakes that you feel that you have made, if your shape has gone wrong. Or now I'm just washing my brush and just mixing these, because you don't want these textures so evident. And then we'll just spread this color a bit. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll paint a line which is parallel to this with just water, nothing else. Go parallel to this. Yeah, this will give it a 3D look. So I'm going to paint a parallel line to this one and just fill it with water, and be very careful, don't touch this line because it is going to spread. It's watercolors, of course, it will spread. Now if you make a mistake in spreading the water, just pick it up with the tissue paper. That's it. Don't have to worry that much. And from the bottom it will be slant like this. Okay, so here I have the, now again I'll take wet paint and I'm going to go over the edge. Always remember, start with the edge so that it is the darkest. We don't have to paint everything here. Now just wipe your brush. You have to just mix it and spread the color that is already there. See how it is looking now? It is looking three-dimensional. We'll just do a little bit of green in the bottom. Now as you can see, this is 3D, so this also has to extend here. We'll extend it with the same green that we have used earlier, and we'll take it to this line. So here it is extended. Okay, we'll have to extend it till here. Okay, and since this is a patch, this will also be a patch, so we'll just extend this line in red to here with line in green. So this has to be a bit abstract, just spreading the color around it. Okay, so here you have a beautiful piece of watermelon. But I know what you are thinking, there are some things missing. Of course the seeds are missing, so we'll now paint the seeds. But before painting the seeds, just make sure that the area is dry. Now what if it is not dry? Just like right now we need to paint it. So take the tissue paper, a clean portion. Of course if you have another tissue paper, use that. A clean portion so that the color doesn't go, and just pick up a bit of water that is lying around. Now we are going to paint the seeds. I'm going to add a bit of water, very little water, for the black seeds, and I'm going to just take the black on my brush and I'm going to paint the seeds. I will give you a closer look of this. Yeah, so here we are going to paint the seeds. I would like to show you this how to paint seeds on a separate sheet of paper first. So this is the shape that we are going for. Okay, and we'll just fill it with color. Got it? Now we are going to do the same here. I'm taking a bit of black more. Yeah, make sure your tip of your brush is pointed. If it isn't pointed, then it won't be perfect. So we will be painting abstract seeds, so you don't need to follow any pattern here. This is one. Second one I'm putting it here. And they can be of different sizes also. They all don't need to be of same size. Okay. So 2-3 seeds here and there. Look how it changes the whole look and feel of this painting. Okay, I think one more year will be enough. Yeah, so this is how the final painting looks, and as you can see it is looking vibrant and it is looking realistic because of this patch that we painted here. You can also add a bit of red here, I'll show you, and it will look more connected. Also, when your water gets muddy like this, it's time to change your water, so change your water now. So we'll be taking a bit of red, a lot of water into the red, and just taking the brush over this section. Yeah. So this is your final piece. You can keep adding more things to it if you feel that it's still not perfect. But yeah, this is how it should be looking. I hope you have all enjoyed painting this one, and I hope that you have understood how watercolors work. We have two other paintings lined up. I'm going to show you another painting, and it is as easy as this one was, and I hope you are all trying. If you have any questions, I'll be taking questions at the end, so do stay connected. So now the next painting that we are going to do, that is going to be of a kiwi. Yeah, so we are going to do a kiwi painting now. So I just like this, how this is looking, to give you a closer look. See, yeah, so we'll now paint a kiwi. Now take a fresh sheet of paper and we'll get ready for the kiwi well. Okay. This one is also fairly easy. If you have ever drawn or tried drawing a kiwi, I think it's fairly easy. But with watercolors, the whole painting changes and it gives a very nice effect to the painting. So for this one also, we are going to use the wet in wet technique. And if you guys have seen a piece of kiwi, the center portion is, first of all, it is a circular slice that we are going to paint an open kiwi. And if you have seen a kiwi slice, the center is a bit whitish, I might say. Yeah, it is a lot whitish, and the area around it is lightish green, and the circle there is a covering which is a dark green, and there is a bit of brown as well on the cover. So we'll be using those colors from the palette. So yeah, let's get started. So first I am going to just draw a circle outline, just the outline. Right now just the outline. Doesn't have to be the perfect circle, but yeah, a circular shape. Okay. it is going to be difficult to see what you are drawing because you're painting, because you're painting it in water. But yeah, you will get the hang of it as much as you keep trying. So with this, the outline is ready. Now we are going to keep a bit of section empty in the center and fill everything around it. Okay, it is an abstract portion that I have kept empty. Your circle can be bigger or smaller, there are no issues, it's okay. Okay, again this is wet on wet technique. So I have added water, and now the next step for this is going to be it is going to be adding the green. Now what green are we going to add? This is the light green, right? So this is the light green, and I'm going to add a bit of yellow into it. So we are going to take a bit of yellow on the brush and add it to this green, and load our brush with this color and lot of water. And know that your paper is also, you are going to take a bit of dark green as well. So that is the color that we are looking at, a bit of dark and bit of light. And then we are going to paint the circle. See, as I showed you in the last painting, we are just going to go around the edges. The paint will flow automatically towards the center now. Okay, now we are just going to fill it very lightly and going to keep a patch empty in the center. I would like to give you guys a tip that in watercolors it's very important to maintain your white space. That's the most important thing, I guess, in watercolors, because once you lose that white portion of your paper, you will never get it back, no matter what you do. So always be careful when you're applying color. So this is it, and now I'm going to take a bit of dark green, and this green I'm going to take and I'm going to go over the edge again. Now this is a bit vibrant green, as you can see. I'm going to just go around with this color. As you can see, it has created this abstract effect here. Yeah, we want a bit of dark shade here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this green and add this green in this yellow. This is not the right way to do it, but since we are low on time, this is how I will have to show it to you. So I am taking this green and mixing it with yellow, just going to go around with that paint and adding more water. As you can see, I have a thick rim for the kiwi now. Now I'm going to wash my brush and go over this. Now what if you have spread the color wrongly? What will you do? What if by mistake I spread the color here? I wanted this section to be white. No issues. You just dry your brush and your brush will start picking up color rather than painting color. See how easy it is. But your color needs to be, of course, wet for this to work. But yeah, this is a good trick to keep in mind when you're painting and make mistakes, like we all make mistakes. And in the center, I'll just put a bit of color here for you guys to note what I have kept empty. Yeah. So this is the center that we have kept empty. Now what we are going to do next is we are going to paint the fibers that are present in the kiwi. For that we are going to take this dark green and we are going to add a bit of this mustard brown in it. You can see the color changes. Yeah, so we'll be taking this color, and this time the color is going to be the highlight, so you need more color on your brush. Okay, and now we are going to paint thick but short lines. Okay, and it has to go like this in a circular motion. So these kind of lines, but in circular motion around the white space that you have kept in the center. Again, if you feel your brush is more wet, just dry it off a bit and pick up the excess water that is there and creating this puddles at the end. Just take more color on your brush. These are going to be the short lines, so no need to extend them till here, just a bit shorter. So these are the short lines. Now in the next layer of this painting we are going to do longer lines, but of course the green will be different. This will be the yellowish version of green. This will need a bit of more dark green into this. I have to mix it well. This is why I prefer tubes, guys. So next time if you have tubes right now, then you will know how easy it is to paint and mix tubes, but I know many of you will have these cakes, so I have decided to use this today. So now we are going to extend this towards the end. So hold your brush like this. Just I'll give you a closer look of this. Yeah, I hope it is visible now to everyone. So hold your brush like this and just extend it till the end. Wherever you feel like your color is spreading, like it is spreading right now, just wipe your brush and pick up the color. I am showing you these techniques because I know you guys will be making mistakes and you will be needing this, so I am deliberately making these mistakes. Towards the end, these are the longer lines. Make sure you keep your colors same. And also your direction is very important. Okay, now we'll go over these lines that were not perfect in the first go. So we have painted this. Now we'll paint one more line here. I think it will make it look good. Yeah, and we'll just extend this till the end. Here also it's looking fairly empty, so I'm just making a few corrections here and there so that it gives it a good effect overall. Yeah, so as you can see, we have painted this, the inner circle. Now we'll paint the small tiny seeds that we have in a kiwi. But before that, we are going to paint an outline with brown and green, and this is going to be a very less amount of water. So I'm going to take this brown, I'm going to take this brown and this green. You can see the color that it's making. It's the perfect color for kiwi, the outside of the kiwi. So here I have taken more water, so I'm just rubbing it. Okay, and I'm just taking this brownish green color, if you can call it that, and I'm going to just give an outline to this entire thing. Okay, as you can see, the moment you put it down, I think I need a bit of more brown in this. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be the cover, the kiwi. So guys, one more thing, that it's always better to have one stroke like I'm going right now, like this, rather than doing this, because the moment you do this, there are many edges that are formed here. So with the steady hand, you can always also hold your hand like this, wrist like this. So I'll just give you a look of how I am holding my wrist right now. So this is how I hold my wrist, so that my hand is a bit stable. So we'll go over this. Okay, now that we have done this, just going over it again to fill in any spaces if there are any. Okay, now this is looking somewhat like a kiwi, but to make it look more realistic, we need to do a few more things on this. I'll show it to you very quickly now, because we are running out of time. We'll take this brown, mix a bit of black into this time, and this is going to be a lot of water this time, and we are going to paint a shadow. Now shadow will be on the either side. I will prefer it on this side, so I'm going to paint a thin shadow on this side. Again, I'm going over this thing, and as you can see, there is very less of black, so I'm going to add a bit of black to this. It has to look as a one piece of slice of cherry, kiwi, I'm sorry. So this is how it will look, just merging it together with the brown that we had earlier. Okay, so as you can see, suddenly this piece of cherry has come alive. Now we'll just paint a bit of things here and there, and then it is complete. First we are going to paint this green with a bit of brown, this mustard color, and we are going to go over these things in the smaller ones. Okay, this is a green and mustard color. Okay, and we need to darken the green also, so we will do that now. For the darker shade, I am going to mix this with a bit of this brown. See, it has darkened. Never add black to make dark shades, because it ruins the whole color. So I'm going to add a bit of more brown, and I'm going to go over these. just go over this, and don't cover the entire green section. I'll give you a closer look of this. Don't cover the entire section of green that you have already painted. You're just painting an outline, a line in the center of these. Look at how I am holding the brush also. So sorry, so that is almost done, I guess. One thing that remains that we can do to make this pop a little bit more, what this is missing is the yellowish tint that kiwi has. So we are going to take this yellow. Now since I have added a lot of green to this, it is covered, so we'll have to first clean this. Just wet this and take a tissue paper and move it around. That is how I clean it. So now we are going to add a lot of water to this. I'm going to take this watered down yellow. I'm going to show how it is going to look. This is the very light version. So we are going to take this and just go in between and drop in this yellow color. In some sections it will be lighter, in some sections it will be darker, but it's going to show in the end. Don't go over the greens, because those greens will then spread and it will create a havoc for you guys. So here it is. Once we are done with this, we are now going to paint the seeds. For that we'll have to wait a bit for this to dry. Meanwhile, if anyone has any questions regarding any of the paintings that have been made today, I would be more than happy to understand your queries and to know what you guys think. So I am going to just pick up a bit of color. Color here and there if it is still wet. Yeah, it is not wet, so I'm going to take a bit of black here, and there is very little amount of water on my brush. Yeah, so now we are going to paint the seeds. These seeds are going to be different than this one. These are going to be tiny seeds like this. Yeah, so we'll just paint this, and we are going to paint them in these sections mainly, and then in between here and there in a scattered manner, and all are going to be towards the center. So this is one, this is another one. painting here to have give it a bit of different feel. One here, just by looking at it you will know where you can make some seeds and make it look more beautiful. I'm going to have some seeds here as well. They are fairly more in number in the center, towards the center, so I'm just painting them more there. Yeah, so here also I think there should be 2 or 3 seeds. So our kiwi is now complete. I'll just wash off the brush and I'm going to show you one more thing that will elevate this painting. I'm going to take a very little amount of black here, very watered down black. I'm just going to go over these ones because these have to be a bit darker to stand out. As you know that watercolor will dry out and become more lighter, so we need to take care of that also. I'm going to add this a bit of black here and there. It's okay if you misjudge one or two, it's okay, it's fine. And the last thing that we should do is, with this muddy green water, I'm just going to wet my brush in this and just going to go over in the center. Just that very little amount of water, there is no paint, but it just fills the paper and the paper is not just bland white. Now this is your second painting, which is a kiwi painting. I hope you guys enjoyed this session and had as much fun as I had making this, and had as much fun as I had making this one. There are many other watercolor paintings and techniques, and there are sunsets, and there are flowers, and there are abstracts, and a lot of things that you can do with watercolors. You can check all of this out on my YouTube channel. I will mention the link in comments. And yeah, I am open to all your questions, guys. Ask me as many questions as you want. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. So these are the two paintings that we created: a watermelon